And here we go. Spawning in the color yellow, we got Beasty playing as the Delhi Sultanate. On the other hand side, we got 3DB playing as the Ayyubids. And this is going to be on Dry Arabia now, one of the more neutral maps that we see in Age of Empires 4.
Yep. B is opting for the berry opening as Ayyubids, and obviously Beasty doing the same thing with the Delhi straggler tree to the did he actually? Yeah, straggler tree to the mill, but the straggler tree was on the opposite side, so he just did the jump through the town center move.
Yeah, very nice micro there for BC, going with that jump through. Saves himself a little bit of idle time, roughly 4 seconds that it takes to walk all the entire length of that TC.
And this is actually where both players could be very aggressive with their scouting patterns because they're on the berries. They don't have to worry about that initial sheep drop off. And you can see Beasty scout all the way on B's side of the map, whereas B is circling around, being a little bit more conservative with his.
Yeah, both players just collecting those sheep right now. Civilizations like the Delhi and the Ayyubids, though, there's not really too much need to get a lot of sheep in the early game, since both of them, they get that improved gathering from the berries as well as the improved food capacity on these berries. And yeah, so the food income from both these players is going to be looking very, very solid here in the early game. House of Wisdom has been built, and we can take a look soon at which wing B is going to be going up with, as there are a lot of choices to go with if you're playing as the Ayyubids.
Yeah, keep in mind the most recent update, it did nerf all of the wings for Ayyubids. All of them just take a little bit longer to finish on up, so it did take a little bit of this timing, a little bit of the tempo away, but still very, very strong civilization in general.
No, Dabston, you're actually selling this wrong, because with the advancement culture wing, because of the percentage, now you even more time when you go up to the next age.
So yeah, I mean it does, but I think you'd still rather that's just one wing, I guess I should say. Whoa,
reinforcement! We're gonna be seeing the Desert Raiders being produced. Wait, how many Desert Raiders is it? Is it 1 every 2 minutes or 2 every 1 minute? I think it's 1 every 2 minutes. All right, I'm not sure how I feel about this. That's not many Desert Raiders, but you get one immediately.
Yeah, maybe he's just hoping that he utilizes this timing. It also could be one where Beasty scouts this out and he's gonna be like, I don't even know what wing that is. Yeah, the visibility's there. You can see which wings are what, but he just might not be as comfortable knowing that wing, as it is usually not picked up until maybe Imperial Age or so.
Yeah, on the opposite side, Tower of Victory going up for BC. So he's gonna have some very, very fast attacking archers, and archers are the direct counter to these Desert Raiders. They don't have any pierce armor in the early game, so you're able to do a lot of damage to them with the archers.
Yeah, horsemen also actually trade pretty well against Desert Raiders, as they have the archery tag, but the Ghazi Raiders, they have the bonus to heavy, and the Desert Raiders, they aren't heavy.
Yeah, the Ghazi Raiders still have that normal damage bonus against the range units as well. The issue, though, is that sure, they do take the bonus damage, but the main issue is that the Desert Raiders, they still have the 5 melee armor, as well as, on top of that, as well as a lot of bonus damage against cavalry units. I think it's like 13 melee damage, and then an additional 11 bonus damage against cavalry units. So that's a lot of damage, and look at that, outpost coming up on the gold mine. This makes me believe that this is most likely going to be a fast castle build coming in from B.
Yeah, so I think the idea here is he just uses that Desert Raider, almost like I was just talking about before the game started, like a horseman, where you're just making sure your opponent's on the back foot. You're poking and prodding here and there. If any scholar tries to move out for a sacred site by himself, well, you're sniping that scholar out and you're forcing a reaction. And in the meantime, your whole economy behind this is going into this castle age. You can already see he's basically halfway there if we're talking about the advancement wing here.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really quickly happening. And I mean, Beasty, he's starting this one off with the stable.
Wait, did he just miss that? I think he just missed that because of the wood line.
I think he did. I think you're right. He might have missed that. And now the Desert Raider is coming in, and he's going to deny the berries with that. A little bit of a mistake, I think, going with the range attack, just because he gets so much more damage in with the melee attack. I think B should have just straight up gone for a melee attack, and now switches over to the melee damage, and look at that. So much damage coming on the Ghazi Raider. He's melting.
Yeah, and BC not paying attention. I think this is one of those, like I was talking about, where you think it's the correct counter, and in reality, it's yourself that's being countered once you swap to melee.
He'll set Gazi Raider up though, and now with 2 Gazi Raiders, might be in a better position, but he does have to fall away from those berries. Still has a lot of sheep though under his TC, but the gathering isn't going to be as fast from these sheep as it would have been from the berries, not by a long shot.
B is about to have enough for a upgrade on that arrow slits if he wants it, and he's about to have enough to click up to Castle Age as well.
Gazi Raiders now looking for the Desert Raider. Second Desert Raider should be coming out soon for B as well, within the next 30 seconds. 3 Gazi Raiders means that Desert Raider is definitely going down, but it was free. It was free.
Yep, just distract, cause as much delay as possible, and B clicks up. He's on the way up with the advancement wing.
Indeed, not a lot of cost associated with that one, and he can just go straight into the Camel Lancer after that one. Stable is getting dropped, and the Camel Lancer, such a strong unit here in this game, has a good amount of attack speed, does good base damage, and yeah, just overall, looking really, really strong.
Yep. So that one Gazi or one Desert Raider is still kind of just roaming out and about. The Gazi Raider should start heading over towards B's side, but B, I mean, he should be sitting in a kind of fine situation. Beasty only has those horsemen out, only has those Gazi Raiders out, has 0 sacred sites, and B's about to be castle.
Yeah, Castle Age just around the corner. Looks like BC is trying to go for a dive just as the arrow slits emplacement comes in. It's going to get deterred, and behind that, there's also still the Desert Raider, the free Desert Raider, which can do so much damage to these units. Also, the minus 20% debuff that comes with it. So difficult to engage onto that, and now Beasty is going to have to go into Mass Spearman in order to be able to hold against this. Desert Raider oversteps, though.
Desert Raider, nope. He will get taken out by those horsemen, so thrown on away. But again, it was a free unit. It doesn't feel as bad. Camel Lancers are in queue. Blacksmith already down. A second Stables is being dropped as well. And so B, he's at a point now where the ecos are even. He just has to deal with the military deficit that he's in, but he has the tech advantage.
It's double archery ranges, Dabston. There's no barracks coming out.
Okay.
That is going to be very, very rough now. BC, without any military, without any spearmen against the Camel Lancers. Camel Lancer, it's not like they don't have any pierce armor. They got the full pierce armor.
They also have that extra longer distance on their charges as well, so they're able to kind of close the gap. But the first Camel Lancer gets a nice surround by Beasty with his scouts, with his Gazi Raiders, and is able to take it out.
Yeah, moved out just a little bit too early here. Get some great value with that. First Sacred Site has been captured now by Beasty.
Next Desert Raider just gets thrown on away as well. B, he has this for nice timings, but he's just not executing this exactly as need be. The next Camel Lancer doing the same.
Not quite happening, but this is all very, very close here. Needs more of these Camel Lancers out. At least 3 if he wants to take these engagements successfully against the Gazi Raiders.
This is what I was talking about, the charge, though. The charge distance, they're able to close the gap and just get so much damage down.
Yeah, the charge damage also increases with the distance, so you can see there, the damage absolutely going through the roof there with that long-distance charge, and now more Camel Lancers coming out, but once again, has to be careful, just doesn't have the numbers quite yet. Spearman also being produced by Beasty in the back of space.
Yeah, the key thing to think about here, though, is like even though he's lost some Camel Lancers, Beasty is still being stuck in Feudal Age here for an extended period of time. These are more upgrades and more units that should be coming out for B. He's trying to deny the Sacred Site, so he's still in a somewhat okay position, although he has taken some very bad trades.
Dervishes coming out from B as well. If he's able to get these relics, it's going to be very tough for BC once he reaches that Castle Age to get a lot of value out. But looks like the Gazi Raiders from Beasty, they're going to be looking for some raids, and the wood line might be exposed here now for B.
Not too many villagers on that wood line. The Gazi Raiders show on up. B is a little bit slow. First villager goes down. The next 3, they get pulled on back, but they're a little bit slow. They make it though. Only one Vil is the sacrifice. 2 Ghazi Raiders fall though.
Yeah, some of the Ghazi Raiders going down. Spearmen do deter these camel lances here. Camel lances also picks up a scholar there. But these spearmen, they do a good amount of damage to them, and now camel lancer is gonna fall. Sacred Side has been decapped though. Sacred Side in the middle also likely to get decapped, but look at that. Beasty looking for a walk around the base now from B. He's gonna find the villagers on the berries.
And now we're seeing the transition to Gulam. Like B, it almost is like the Camel Lancers were the initial idea, and it was like, all right, force Spear Archer out. And now since BC's transitioning to Spear Archer, Gulams are the perfect counter unit to both of those.
Berries! The berries from B!
Oh, you're right! Perfect circle.
There's no outpost! He's gonna lose all of them. Perfect surround! All of the villagers are gonna go down. That is a massive loss for B now. 5, 6, 7 villagers he loses here. And the Dervish potentially as well.
The Gulam arrives, but those... Remember, the bonus to heavy, that Gulam, it's nothing. Camera Lancers being dealt with pretty efficiently as well. I just feel like this is one of those timings that it's so crucial with your earlier units with these timing pushes, and Beasty did such a great job of deterring those first few units.
Yeah, and B, he's so set on aggression right now. He wants to do damage to his opponent, but just can't find the value in right now. And when we see that he's got 11 spearmen out on the side from BC, you gotta realize that there's not a lot of damage to be done here. We say that as potentially some villagers might get found out here on the deer.
Yep, and that is a melee form Desert Raider. I also think he maybe got
These are Camel Lancers.
I thought one was a Raider. One's a Raider. One was a Lancer, one was a Raider.
They look identical.
Yeah, one was a Raider, one was a Lancer. But he also denied some of the walls. The key here, though, is like the textiles that Beasty already has in play, being Delhi. He saved all of his villagers. He hasn't lost any villagers so far.
Yeah, textiles providing an immense amount of value here now. And BC is going to dive again with the Ghazi Raiders from a different angle on the wood line once again. Villagers not reacting in time. More villagers going down. Once again, 2 villagers going down here. And B, he's just losing villagers on every single side.
He's losing villagers. He's losing military mass as well. So yes, he's trying to get these trades into eco, but he's actually the one who's losing the eco out. More Ghazi Raider raid again and again. He's still there. 15 villagers inside the town center. Takes out a Ghazi Raider or 2 on the way out. But I mean, damage is being done for sure.
Yeah, it feels like he just needed 2 of his Camel Lancers to just keep sticking onto those Ghazi Raiders. First villager might be going down here now for Beasty. Doesn't get taken down. Attacks the wrong villager instead.
And Beasty has secured up his wall in the west. That also secures up his next food source. And he's trying to build some additional walls in the center here.
I'll be behind all of this. He is at the very least gathering up the relics. It's going to be 4 on the way. 2 already collected. 2 more on the way. 1 just been collected. Sacred sites might also be taken from him.
Look at B's food per minute.
It's not good. It is the opposite of good right now for him. Definitely needs to reinvest into some Gulams now. The gold just ran out as well.
At least for the gold for him, he has 3 relics secured already in, so that will be ticking for himself. BC, though, he's circling with the Ghazi Raiders again. If it worked once, if it works twice.
The Camel Lancer just moved away. Oh no. This could be devastating. The Ghazi Raiders, they're finding their way onto the berries once again without any military units nearby. B, is he reacting in time? He isn't. But BC also isn't reacting in time. There's not going to be a surround. But B, the units, B! He's not paying attention.
He's there in time. Only 1 vill goes down. Camel Lancer arrives. The Ghazi Raiders, they head on to the gold villagers too. There's just a surround. It's going to be a wall low to push these away.
Low coming in. Villagers getting healed up. So overall, losing 1 villager there, but look at the army count right now from Beasty. 30 spearmen, 30 archers. B, he doesn't have any Gulams out on the field right now. This next push coming out from Beasty, it's gonna kill him. And there's no way for B to defend it.
Yeah. We're seeing the couple spears try to clean up the Camel Lancers, but good micro by B, pulling back the lower health when the Dervish just keeps it alive just long enough. He's about to break through, but the push is coming in from Beasty, as you just said, and there's nothing here to hold from B.
Golems would be absolutely ideal, but it's just too many units right now. Golems with all the bonus health can do a great job here. Now Spearman coming in, and this amount of Spearman, that's going to be enough to hold. First Camel Lancer going down. Another villager, sacrificial lamb here.
Yeah.
And B, he's looking so rough, and oh, gets the 5th relic though.
This is one of those things, though, that the timing, it was BC didn't get worried about the timing. He didn't get scared. He just took a step back and said, all right, he just invested a lot into that. Let's just play my game, stay calm, cool, collected. And he's continued to keep the pressure on line.
Fifth relic has been collected, but that mosque looks to be going down here.
I
Not
feel like
enough
B
of these golems out.
I feel like B just needs to go for mangonels.
And instead he's choosing to opt into archers, and I don't know, archers, they take a time to mess up, and time is not something that he really has right now. Golden Age should deactivate as well. Now his upgrades are going to take a little bit longer.
BC about to be able to click up to Castle Age in just a second, too. Camel Lancers cannot dive into that Spear Mass. There's way too many there.
Sacred Sites haven't been captured yet by those Dervish, and BC once again with the Ghazi Raiders on the wrap around the base. It's got to once again find the woodline where there's a lot of villagers to be had this time around. B, is he going to react? He pulls all the villagers. Dervish comes in with a potential Wololo. Instead puts the relic inside.
I think he was trying to block off the Ghazi Raiders' escape and Wololo him to secure himself some units. But even if he had done that, I'm still not sure if it would have been enough. He's taking the fight. There's Ghulams. There's healers for these Ghulams. A few archers there as well. And the Camel Lancers are still being alive. They're still somehow not getting touched by those spearmen.
Some micro coming out as well. Ghulams did get some healing in, but the Dervish gets taken down now. The Ghulams completely surrounded. No way to defend those, and the food transition unable to go onto this tier with these Ghazi Raiders. The Ghazi Raiders have been there the entire time. Wrap around. Not working.
Those Ghazi Raiders are just the MVP of this game. Beasty hits Castle Age, and this is where I feel like B, you know, he might just try to extend this game to get on Beasty's nerves over here, make sure to extend this series on out. But this one, the writing's been on the wall for a while. B has been hemorrhaging villagers, been hemorrhaging his eco, and the army value shows.
If it wasn't for this massive military difference right now between these two, I would say that B would be in a really, really good shape, but the military difference is there. And look at no food income, as Vodka is pointing out. He just doesn't have any income. Mangonel, or rather Manganique, is now being placed, but this all feels just a little bit too late, and now the units are in on the other side. And Beasty has gotten B completely surrounded.
Beasty has two different army masses, and both are enough to deal with B's whole entire army mass. He tries to reposition the other line. No!
Oh no. This is looking so rough right now, and now BC's diving from all sides. He's going around the other side again.
There's nowhere to go.
He's going to be sniping the Manganique. Or is he? He's just denying the food for now.
It finishes on up. B just needs to take a dive onto one of these armies. He still doesn't have the Ghulams here to defend this, but it's not even like the Ghulams will matter much as Beasty's castle himself. He's got crossbows on the way. He's got his own tiered up units on the way as well.
Man-at-Arms and Knights, and still no real food income right now for B. Once again, the mosque is going to get torched down. It's going to lose access to those two relics.
BC just showing the master class of what a few Ghazi Raiders can do to your opponent. It's just, you know, you can't not respect the mobility. You can't just have your eco wide open and go out there willy-nilly.
I feel like that was just this massive mistake from B, not going for an outpost on his berries. That completely disrupted him, losing so many villagers there early on. And once again, now he's going to be losing more villagers. Archers, though, with the Mameluke buff. Going to be doing a good amount of damage here. Forcing Beasty back for now, but now Beasty's even going for a keep now on the berries and the deer from B.
Yeah, he's just hitting him where it hurts. He knows what B is hurting on its food, and so this keep, it's going to deny not only the berries, it's the deer and the other deer.
So effectively, B now has roughly 1,000 food worth of berries remaining. After that, it's completely empty once again.
Yeah, and we'll have to make a farm transition, and you can't make a farm transition when you're down triple the units already. Beasty is just taking this game number one in a decisive fashion here.
Yeah, looks like B doesn't want to quit out quite yet, though. I'm not sure, though, what he thinks about this game. Once he sees that keep there going up, and once he compares his army count to that of his opponent.
The keep has finished. It
rolling forward.
Yeah, decent shot, but you're gonna need a lot of those to have any sort of chance at a comeback.
Look at that!
Well, there's another one. Maybe
but it's like on the other side of B space.
Yeah, there's where the minute arms are. That's where the crossbows are. The lancers are there. GG is called, and 3DB was not able to secure game number one. Beasty, just a great counteract to the fast castle play on B's side, able to keep up the pressure, keep up that annoyance, secure his own base, and get a good head start in this series.
Exactly. And now 1-0 for Beasty in this best of 5. Can B turned around? I mean, this was a good attempt from B. I feel like it was just the execution with the excellent rating coming out from B. Like BC plays it so well with these Ghazi Raiders just running around the back line of B space. I feel like if B just put 2 Camel Lancers on Ghazi kind of cleanup duty, he would have been in a much better position. But BC just got so much value from that one. Absolutely amazingly played by him.
Yeah, really, really interesting game number one, but that's just the game number one of this best of 5 series. So for game number 2, we're going to be on Himeyama and talking about this creativity. We have ordered the dragon for 3DB, which is what I would say is almost what everyone would say is the weakest civ out there. But for some reason, it's being picked second in a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Order of the Dragon, they recently got a nice little buff there. They're starting off with plus 50 wood now. Interesting to see what B has in store. We saw the Spearman Rush coming in earlier without the plus 50 wood. Maybe now it's fully fleshed out that he's getting that additional wood income.
Yeah, so here we go. We're about to be on to this second game. I actually remember seeing this matchup, maybe not the exact civs, but the Order of the Dragon against Beasty. He had a very quick counteract to that Spearman Rush, but game number 2 begins. Beasty spawning on the west side of Himeyama as Jean in the color yellow, and 3DB on the eastern side as the Order of the Dragon, and it is indeed the Spearman Rush.
Oh man, Beasty. You just gotta look at this map right now, and you gotta say, damn, I guess Marine Lord wished he had the kind of spawn like this. It's double back gold for him.
Yeah, one thing I will say that I've seen Beasty do, and he spots out the Spearman immediately, it's the new walls. You don't need a lot of investment. You literally just wall up your villagers like inside your mining camp, and the Spearman can't do anything. I remember seeing this matchup, and he did that exact thing.
Look at that. He's doing it.
So
it's even better.
I was about to mention it. Well, we're seeing it in action. So what this means is now the Spearman, when it tries to run to the gold and pressure, it literally will see the villagers, but it won't be able to attack. It'll just have to laugh from afar.
I could imagine BC just completely walking in and just building a gate in order to send villagers through. But yeah, the Spearman, he's very likely not going to be able to achieve a lot. Making his way across now. We can see the line of sight that he has. Still some sheep remaining as well, though, that we can see with our guard vision. And there we go. Sees the first gold mine. It's going to move around. He already scouted the entire front of BC space, so he knows that the gold must be in the back end. Walls are spotted.
So yeah, again, this is where you can't do anything.
BC saw the strategy coming out from B before the buffs, and there we go. He's closing it up. He's just gonna close it up.
Yep, closes up the wall. He doesn't even finish closing it up. He's just like, just in case, I can always just cancel it, get it back, and get a nice little escape for my villagers. So that spearman has basically done nothing, and it will do nothing.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future, for sure. And now Beasty, he's just gonna set John out because he wants her to be able to build the landmark. There we go. School of Cavalry gonna be coming in. Insufficient wood. Oh, might be able to kill a sheep.
No.
Oh, doesn't kill it. Oh, it's just barely not enough damage here. Missing out with 2 health.
Not quite as good as that shinobi. Oh, is B burning the mining camp through the wall? Is that what it is?
Yes, he's reaching all the way over. He's burned the mining camp.
Interesting enough. Okay. Because he knows that if he was burning the wall, it would always be able to be rebuilt. And I mean, same thing goes for the mining camp, but it at least is forcing villager idle time, forcing, resource depletion from your opponent if that is the case.
Yeah, I mean, these aren't the cheap ones. These aren't the cheap mining camps that we usually see.
It is that full 50 resources for it. The French have that ability to have the half-off resource camps, but not Jean. She did not have that ability with her creation.
And that mining camp might actually soon take... Okay, never mind. Just as I say it, BC is going to be able to repair... It's not going to be set on fire this time. Now, the fact that B is able to attack the mining camp here through a wall, that's just something that happens when the developers, they made it so that the walls can be placed a little bit more freely. So you can now build them really, really close to buildings. It used to be that there's like this little bit of a distance that you need between the wall and other buildings and other walls. So here in this one, it's going to be able to throw it across. And Torch Deck does have some range.
Yeah, and that's also where, like, Beasty, he's had to spend a decent bit of idle time to repair this on up. If he looks away for a little too long, he might actually overlook the Order of the Dragon torch damage like you were just talking about. If he loses his mining camp, Beasty, hello? Beasty? Oh my god.
He's repairing it just in time, but that's once again going to be 50 wood going down to repair it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about a 50 wood, that's a villager for a full minute, and not only that, it's the villager spending time repairing that as well. So it is at least I said the spearman hasn't done anything. Well, it has gotten a decent little bit of payoff timing. 3DB hits a decent feudal age timing considering he made a spearman.
Yeah, and I mean, behind all of that, you want the spearman out anyways against civilization like Jeanne d'Arc. And Beasty is making a knight. Now, this knight might be able to take down a normal spearman, but the Order of the Dragon Spearman, I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah, it looks like B, though, has said, all right, you hit your feudal age, I've hit my feudal age, I'm going to pull my spearman on back. I want to make sure I don't lose this unit for no reason. It's done its job. It's caused this annoyance. It's been a pain in the side. And now let's try to snipe out where Jean is going, potentially, which I will say, Gilded Horsemen, they are a unit that you cannot underestimate. You might think that, a spearman can clear it up or you can just, circle it with your villagers. It's like, no. These are Order of the Dragon units.
Yeah, they have a lot of base damage, plus 15 damage here, and a lot of health as well. They can definitely go out there and kill Jean.
They're also pretty good at
chasing.
Yeah, they're also pretty good at chasing down the lower health knights. So if the knights do take a little bit too much damage, it's like, all right, great. Well, I can actually finish you off, whether it's chivalry, whether it's heals from Jean or whatever.
First boar is going to get killed now by Jean. Looks like B, he was looking for the other boar on the side that's closer to BC. BC, though, immediately going all the way out there to that faraway boar. And knight is going to be looking for some damage here, but no villagers remain on the gold for B.
Yeah, B spotted out the knight coming across with his horseman, so he knew, okay, let me wait a couple seconds, pull off a gold, remacro on over, and now he sends the spearman out and then can reclaim gold after.
Might be trying to find a villager on the... Oh, there we go. Villagers go out to gold. Did he spot that?
Oh, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. Gilded Horsemen do so much damage right now. The second horseman's on its way. Jean, though, she's fine, though. She's half health. She's already used her heal ability due to the boar, and she runs on home. So not the biggest deal, but could have been.
Definitely could have been. Beasty, though, getting more knights on the field. And these horsemen, they cost as much overall resource-wise than these knight counts, than these knight cost. However, they cost a lot more food. 200 food, 40 wood. It is very difficult to get a big mass of these skilled horsemen out.
The thing is that Beasty has his knights out and about, like roaming, trying to raid, which is what you're supposed to be doing. You don't have a lot to defend your base. Like you can't take these with archers. You can't like poke them down once you have a ton of archers. Knight headed towards the base of B yet again. There's no villagers on the berries. He did have a spear on the gold. Oh, and it does just a turn. He reacts just in time. The knight's forced away. And the horseman, this is what I was talking about, though. He dives onto the gold, and there's not a lot here to actually defend that mass. There was one knight that took charge and pushed him on back. Beasty, great job not overreacting and giving himself more idle time than need be.
Knight, still looking for damage here. Beto keeping his military close by. Has a second spearman there. He's gonna have enough here to deal with these knights from Beasty.
Yeah, even though it's 3-2 on that count, these are Order the Dragon spears. you can't mess with those by any means. It's almost like when you're facing against a bastard with the phalanx, and you're like, oh, that won't hit me, and it's all of a sudden you're like, oh, that hit me, and I'm dead. It's like you cannot mess with that at all. There's 2 spears sitting on the wood line as well, and the third one here. So Beasty not able to get any damage done with these night raids so far.
Yeah, definitely looking good here when it comes to defensive, though. At the same time, the question's going to be, I mean, Beasty, he's playing Jean right now on 1TC. He wants to get some damage in. Oh! Whoa, it's going to finish up.
It does finish up just in time. If B had been able to see right off the bat, Villager would have fallen and would have ended up going down.
Are the walls in the back finished yet? Yeah, it looks like they're finished off as well.
And so even though Beasty killed the boar, it looks like B might be moving out for the boar to take it with some villagers, get that extra Order the Dragon gathering rate on it, which just you want to be onto the boar. Here's the spears here, and it should be a fine expansion from 3DB without too much worry here.
Yeah, looking good. Looks like B wants to take down the scout here, and is able to get it. Yep. He gets it. There it is. Scout goes down. Mission gets denied. Outpost did go up. Spearmen are here, but there's also archers out from Beasty right now, 9 of them. And there's a lot of knights. I'm not sure if B can take this fight right now. He does have overall more army value and more units out on the field. But is it enough? These knights are never a joke. You cannot mess around with knights.
And Beasty, he's choosing to take it. Jean is there, so needs to be careful. We already saw the little bit of experience go over her way. Comes in, and look at that heal come in on the knights. There was one that was about to get taken out. You blink and it's back into 3/4 health. The spearman's starting to get sniped out by those archers, and it's just out of the outpost range, so B's not actually getting some extra help.
It's huge losses right now for B. An amazing amount of experience coming over for Beasty. Once again, Cleave comes in, 16 experience. Each of these, Beasty loses a lot of his military, but the Order of the Dragon, it's just so difficult to trade effectively against Jeanne d'Arc when you only have melee units. You need archers here, else you're not going to be able to really take Jeanne down. Spearmen, they just don't do enough damage against her.
Yep, villagers moving out to these middle deer, and Beasty knows what his fallback is. He knows his problem, if what can happen. If a couple of those gilded horsemen get onto his food, that could be the difference maker. So what's he do? He drops double outposts, wants to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Oh, the army, good count here for Beasty right now. Double the military value. Looks like B wants to get these walls up. Is it going to be in time, though? It doesn't look like it is. It's going to have to fall back. These walls aren't going to go up.
He does at least have the southern side walls, so will force Beasty into a route that's a little bit closer to his town center, a little bit easier to defend up, potentially. But gold should still be denied. He hasn't pulled back from it yet. And all of the berry villagers just went idle. Oh my god.
Where's he going to go? He's going to go all the way out to the deer? That's a stretch to go out to.
Yeah, especially when you already have knights roaming the map. There's knights roaming for the boar already.
An outpost going up on the wood line. B behind all of this. He's also grabbing stone for some emplacements, but
Oh no.
Look at the deer.
Look at the deer.
Oh no, he's finding them right in time. Outpost not going to be up in time. Some spearmen here. Some horsemen as well, but this is only enough units to deal with the split off army, not with the main army. And now might be happening here. And the main army is going to make its way over.
Yeah, B needs to build another outpost here, or else he's just done. These villagers, they're all going to die. The knights are circling back around. Outpost does give him vision of it. He pulls back his army rather quickly, but Jean's here. And the villagers, they don't know what to do.
They were going over to the other outpost. Has emplacements on it already.
Needs to jump inside sooner than later. Spears, decent little brace.
Not enough, though. Has to pull back. Villagers hop inside the outpost. Emplacements are in. But the knights, they already have the Pierce armor upgrade.
It's just not doing enough. And a ram starts being built. The ram's being built. Nope, it wasn't in outpost range. It looked like to be rather close, though. Literally on the very edge of that outpost range. And B, he's just trying to mass back up, trying to defend this up the best he can. He's got tons of villagers over on the stone, probably for some extra emplacement upgrades, but just doesn't have the units. The top overlay is so deceiving too, because you're like, oh, it's 35 to 24. It's like, yeah, but B's units count as double on that overlay, and it doesn't always feel like they're double.
And John, she's level 3. And with that, I feel like we can already call it GG at this point in time. Not with this military disparity here. John level 3 at this point, I feel like it's an absolute game ender if you're B right now.
Horsemen trying to take down some of those reinforcing archers. I feel like B just never really was allowed to let those horsemen prove to be effective. Beasty did such a good job of deterring the raids, keeping track of where those first few horsemen were, and after he took down the first few units, it was just over from there.
And now the main army from Beasty making its way over to the base from B, and some value, I can't really find anything here. And I mean, a main issue now is also going to be that every time Beasty kills a villager, every time Beasty kills a building, that's even more experience for Gon. Not that he needs it, he's already at that level 3 power spike.
Yeah, he's at the point where you can probably just sit under the TC of 3DB. He's spreading, BC's able to spread out to all these different food locations, and anytime 3DB tries to spread out to any food location, he just gets crushed, and game 2 secured by Beasty, going up 2-0.
B finds himself in a rough position as Beasty already on match point now, and I mean, B, he's gonna have to pull off a reverse sweep if he wants to come back in this one. But this is going to be very difficult because Beasty has been playing this very, very solidly. B, on the other hand side, just a couple of mistakes, I feel like, when it comes to the army composition, that cost him the game here.
Yeah, and I feel like there's some civs that you can make some small mistakes on, make a couple mistakes, and it not really be that big of a deal. But with Order of the Dragon, they're the bottom tier. If you make some mistakes, it's glaringly more apparent.
All right, gonna take a look and see what the next civilizations are going to be between BC and B now. And it's going to be drum roll, please. We're looking at Rus versus the Ottomans. Okay, I mean, it's going to be on Gorge. Rus on Gorge, looking pretty good so far. Ottomans, they definitely want to play aggressively against the Rus, but the Rus, they got that Kremlin landmark, so they got a very nice and defensive landmark here going for them. This might be favored for Rus. Now, the Ottomans, they do get some great tools to deal with the cavalry from the Rus. But the Rus, they don't necessarily need to go for cavalry. They can also go into men-at-arms, they can go into crossbowmen. They're definitely fine going into an infantry-based composition as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of one that I feel like this is more the map base. So with Gorge, it's a map we've talked about it a few times. We've already seen it plenty of times today. It's where, you know, your central resources are nice and close as expected, but all the extra resources are out much further on the map. Your deer, your boar, they're in the corner of the map. It's very hard to get onto all these pocket resources without leaving yourself a little exposed.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see how these players are going to be playing this one. Don't think we're going to be seeing a Pro Scouts game here, like we did in the set between Louis and Puppy Paw.
That being said, I will say it's just in general, Ottomans have a weak food economy. They don't have any of these extra food bonuses that these other civs have. What they have is their military schools to mass more units. Well, if you hurt them in their food economy, if you take those deer away, if there is a Pro Scouts play, well, Ottoman are going to feel that a lot. Yeah, they might have their twin minaret, but that's only like 4 villagers gathering from it. It's not like you can spin your whole eco. You can send 15 villagers onto it, or else it'll be gone very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Every now and then it feels like, okay, maybe you just need a little burst of food and you got 4 of them remaining, so you send a lot of villagers over there. But as you said, you're gonna be depleting them very, very quickly, and yeah, just gonna be tough to really get that good food transition in as the Ottomans, since you do pay full price for the farms and you don't really get any economic bonuses. As I said, the main bonuses for them is that free military with the Mehmet Imperial Army as well as the military schools.
Yep. We actually saw earlier, I think it was between Puppy and Louis, they both dropped a few early farms to like make that food transition a little bit easier too for themselves and not deplete the food throughout the source of the game. So let's see if these players do that. I feel like both of these players like to play into their pocket resources more. The farm transition is kind of like the biggest like last fallback. They never want to be spending resources on farms because they could have more units out, have more aggression, or have other investments into their eco, into their macro.
All right. Game number 3. Potential match point now for Beasty. And these games, they're so important. They're so important. It's the quarterfinals here right now. And whoever wins this is going to move on to the semifinals. Folks, if you enjoy the game so far, do not forget to subscribe over here on EGC TV. Maybe even check out Patreon. EGC TV has a Patreon right now where you can directly support them, help them bring us all of these amazing tournaments. And now, let's jump into our game number 3 in the set between B and Beasty.
Here we go. The potential game decider. Beasty could get the sweep here. Beasty on the Ottomans, on Gorge in the color yellow, 3DB in the color green, on Roos, and he is in that southwestern side. Can B potentially start the reverse sweep, or will Beasty be able to secure the sweep for himself?
Beasty, with the Ottomans going for a double scout play, wants to nice some of the bounty here from B. Also playing 2 scouts here on this map. It's going to be very, very nice for you to be able to secure a couple more sheep, because depending, like sometimes they spawn very one-sidedly on the side, so having an additional scout there helps a lot. Look at that, Beasty immediately found the deer from B on the side, on the left-hand side. It's immediately going to be able to deny those.
Oh, that's so big. That's just like that guaranteed income that you expect to have for yourself. B, he went to his south side. He will at least secure up his deer. And the big question is going to be, where's the third scout from B going to go? Is it going to go ahead and head towards BC's side? Because Beasty, he's not anywhere close to his 2 camps. So yeah, he might have countered out one of B, but will he still be able to secure his own?
Oh yeah, this is looking bad for B right now, because that scout, it's going all the way around the side. He's going to be able to spot out that his hunt has been taken right about now. And now the question is going to be, is he immediately going to go for the corner from Beasty? Because that's where both of the deer spots are for him.
And he does have that one scout that split off from the other. It was on the east side, but now it's headed towards that hunt. So it should be able to get there. And it does look like the second one is headed that way as well. So maybe not as bad of a situation than we were expecting. BC does get a little bit distracted with a wolf here. So that wolf distraction too could allow you to get these deer.
Oh, body block.
Body block the wolf. There is another wolf he can grab though.
And the deer are being found now in the back. B though, he did cancel wheelbarrow. Wasn't sure about his bounty situation, what it's going to be this game. So he decided to go for a little bit of a safe play. Now it's going to be microing down those deer in the back of the base. BC is going to find that out now.
All right, BC was able to counteract one of those deer. There's still a full set of deer, though, that have not been spotted by either Beasty or B.
BC, though, moving straight for that. An additional 2 sheep that he's going to find there. BC right now looking overall very, very solid with the early game.
Yes, he is. B About to be able to drop that age up. Does have enough for wheelbarrow if he wants to queue it up now, but I mean, feels bad not having it already in. It would be closer to finishing at this point.
Yeah. Hasn't gone out to stone yet. If he wants to go for a second TC, he is dropping the Kremlin on the gold. So he doesn't have his stone protected. If he wants to go for a second TC, it's better for him to go onto it sooner rather than later.
Indeed. Beasty on the other side, it looks like he has moved out over to the stone himself. 4 villagers on it. The question is this 4 vills to get the 2 military schools down really quick? Or is it going to be more of an investment into second DC? I'm assuming he's just trying to get his schools down first.
I think Beasty has the elements against a civilization like the Rus. I think this might be a second TC play. I don't think this is just going to be for military schools. Now, he could be going for like double military schools immediately. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is just going to be for a second TC.
B has now started up his wheelbarrow. Better late than never. And Beasty wants to get some vision, wants to see where that Kremlin location is going to be. What resources is B protecting? What resources is he leaving out to dry? And oh, we didn't play the Guess the Bounty, but 205. That is not good.
Not good, not the worst. If he gets one of the boars, he is going to be able to go all the way to that tier 2 bounty at least. Not the tier 3, but tier 2, that's definitely where you want to be. Yeah, BC, he's still gathering stones, so this is going to be a second TC.
Yes, it will be, and B is moving out to the stone himself. Hasn't yet dropped that mining camp there, but with that many villagers, it's second TC for both of these players, which I still feel like leans into Rus's game style a little bit more. Like Ottomans, they're fine staying 1, they're fine with 2, but it's not like going 2 provides them an extra eco boost. It's like, all right, yeah, your military schools still do the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, the villagers, they just don't scale as well as the Rus villagers do overall. When it comes to the income, you get these nice economic bonuses with the bounty, with the bonus wood income, that you just don't get as the Ottomans. So sure, you get more villagers, but they don't scale as well per villager.
And Beasty is at the point, though, that he has enough to drop this secondary TC. He's moving out with his wood villagers back onto that deer in the backside.
TC gonna go up on the deer here. Very nice position. Cancels it, replaces it. Still a nice position. I like the first one more.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted to be a little closer to that wood line. You know, either way, I think he would have rather had more deer efficiency for the longer haul. And B pulls off his TC a little bit later, but his positioning for his TC is going to be a little bit stronger, I would say.
Yeah, it goes on to... Oh, boar pull, though. Coming in. Pumba gets pulled around the TC. Ring around the rosy here. More villagers coming out, though. Once again, round number 2.
Yeah, when it's 1 villager, not a big deal. Once the 8 get here, they're like, all right, thanks for pulling the boar to me. I'll just kill it.
There we go. Villagers might be going on to the boar now.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe now? Maybe not. Oh, villagers taking damage, though. Has to be careful.
Gonna go down. Oh, no, it's not. He's going to go head back home.
Kill the boar. Kill the boar.
There we go. He kills the boar. He loses the
weak villager. He sent it back in. Another weak villager. Might be going down. That's already so much value. Oh.
Oh, it goes
down. As well.
2 villagers go down, and you can't forget. Guess what Beasty's doing? He's already got his second TC up and finished. Scouts burned down the mining camp.
For a third? No, this can't be a third, right? Like, he's already got his first military school out, and he's still with 5 villagers in stone. Is this a potentially third TC?
I guess? Question mark? The first Sapahi, though, is on its way now that, or is starting to be produced now that the military school is finished, but it's not on its way. And Beasty's going back to stone. Or B's going back to stone. He is the one who said, all right, I'll go for multi-TCs then.
Oh, outpost. Is it going up? Might be denied. It's very close. Enough villagers now. It's gonna go up, but it's gonna be very low health when it goes up. It has to be immediately repaired.
It's just barely able to out heal the scout damage from those torches. So outpost will finish on up. And Beasty able to out heal it as well. Villagers jump on inside. They're going to be able to jump out and then heal it up and then jump back inside. So that scout will go down. B needs to fall back from this.
Just tries to get as much value out as possible, cause idle times on these 5 villagers that are garrisoned inside. But behind that, Beasty, he's now looking for an H-up. Already 700 food in the bank, and B, he's going to be going for third TC right now. But he's already been delayed massively, and Beasty's got a 4-villager lead just because that second TC has been delayed by roughly like 1.5 minutes, I would say, just with those boar shenanigans.
Yeah, and not only, was that TC delayed, but lost 2 villagers at it too. So, takes an extra 40 seconds for it to pay off.
Arislit's coming in on the outpost for Beasty. Wants to make sure that the gold is going to be nice and secure. Spots out the 30C as well. Beautiful scouting there from him. And is going to have a Matter and a Supply in production now with his military schools. Lots of villagers in gold. The TC, the castle age timing, it's going to be very nice here for him.
Yeah, and while B may have an extra TC, it just costs a good amount extra food to keep that TC producing. So that delays up his castle. He's got plenty of gold already into the bank. It's just not gold that's going to be the problem. Ult's
now being built by B. This is going to be very important for him. Needs to be able to secure his base, needs to be able to secure these secondary TCs. Because if knights are going to be coming in from Beasty, he's going to need a way to repel those.
Yes, he will, and knights are sure to be coming in. The first Sipahi is actually going to be on its way somewhere.
Scout could be taken down by the Kremlin, lives with just a sliver of health remaining.
And is able to get into a spot that, he can just park himself in and at least get some information rather than going down. The MIA, 8 villagers on it, in the influence of that blacksmith, so siege will start be produced, and B actually not too far delayed behind this from Beasty, as he is pretty close to being able to drop his high trade house.
Good food income from the boar and the deer here. Means that he is going to be very quick behind that. And yeah, the main issue though is going to be for him that he's still behind in villagers.
He is, and the military mass for Beasty, he already has his 2 military schools, so he's going to have those pumping up already. Yeah, he's not going to have knights immediately in queue on actual stables, but it's not as far as delayed as you would be expecting. High trade house starting to be built with 11.
Look at the walls from B. He's not fully walled on the right-hand side.
Oh my.
There's a gap. I think you can walk through that.
You definitely can. You can see on the mini-map that there's a gap there. But maybe, I was going to say, maybe there's a blessing in disguise of the scout. The scout stopped, though, and I'm not sure Beasty knows about that spot yet either.
Matter moving across the map. He does have a Sipahi parked there on the palisade wall. Might be trying to hit that right now. Yeah, he is indeed hitting that at the moment. And now with the H-up, Lancer's going to be in queue. Mammoth Imperial Army is going to be producing that Mangonel. High trade house, though. Going up behind that, and Crossbowman also immediately going to be in queue here.
Yeah, at least the benefit for B, yeah, he doesn't have siege that's auto-producing, but he has gold that's going to immediately start trickling in with the high trade house. He's got some extra deer that's going to help out his awful bounty situation that he was in. Even though he got that 250 mark, it just constantly trickles him in a little bit of gold and that food production, dropping a few barracks to deal with the potential night raids that are sure to come.
Just looking around, some Kremlins have just been spawned. Just gonna be moving around the sides now, trying to clean up any units that they can find. Find the Sipahi here. It's gonna fall back. Can we take a look at the high trade house, see how much income there is right now for B on that one?
I think we might need another cycle for it to tell its true value. Oh, maybe not.
I think it's accurate. I think 44 trees. It's not that much. Yeah. And yeah, 145 wood.
Well, it's not the worst, not the best. It's something you won't complain about.
And the free food that you get from it as well. The food actually is a big part of it. You pretty much get like 350 bonus food per minute with all the deer.
BC just trying to wall in his little corner of the map. There's tons of gold. There's tons of food over in this location. The militia have been called, but again, there's not really a lot of stuff for these militia to do unless he just saw some of something information with the scout.
Well, but it's a distraction, because behind that, 2 Lancers gonna make their way over to the secondary TC.
It is spotted out by the Kremlin, so B does know that that's happening. And so what's he do? He just goes to the corner and walls himself in.
He's making a makeshift bunker right now for his villagers there.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, and it worked out perfectly. He's able to just chop some wood on behind this.
Yeah, all fine here. Looking good, just as planned. B, he's getting some warrior monks out right now. Wants to take some of the relics on the map. Already has the first one going over. Gremlins causing some idle time here on the gold now. First Mangonel being spotted out though. Sees that there are crossbowmen on the field. Triple stable coming out from Beasty. And now there's going to be some crossbowmen coming as well.
Wait, did he just chop through that path?
He didn't chop through, but the villagers, they want to go to the tree line, right? And I mean, there can only be so many villagers chopping right now.
Loses out a few villagers from it. I believe B thought he was all nice and safe and protected, but just wasn't quite so. He's only up 6 villagers with having.
He's walking out. He's walking out. There we go. Now he sees that. Maybe B notices this now. That there's a walkthrough. He does put the spear through. Is he gonna wall it? He's immediately walling it. Perfect. Okay, so this saves B a ton of headaches now.
Look at the knight number though. BC's at 10 knights. This is the huge difference that you're like, oh look, the numbers at the top, they don't look bad. It's like, yes, they do. BC's at 10 knights, and B, he could have his whole military there to try to defend those 10 knights, and he still loses.
Yeah. Crossbow and Spearman is gonna be the name of the game for him right now. Looks like Janissaries are also going to be produced now by BST. Couple of farms coming in. Food income right now, it's looking pretty good for both players right now. Slightly favoring BST though, but that's probably just because B was idle a little bit on the food on the bottom side there. Relics, good bunch being collected right now by B. Already got 2 in.
BC
and there's
able to
2
pick
that are
up
very,
one.
very close to his base. Yeah, he's not going to be getting this one, but there's still 2 relics which B is most likely going to be getting, and that's going to put B in a very nice position economically. The main question is going to be, can he hold? Because right now, there is going to be a very big army that is going to be making its way over to his side very soon, and okay, he is starting to wall up more and more. Definitely is going to need that.
I think he has to invest into some siege too. You know the MIA's making mangonels. If you're on spearman crossbow,
he's walling to a mining camp on the front of his base. Even if a wall gets built, that's not going to be fully closed. And now Beasty is going to be walking in. That's a lot of knights. A lot of knights. All of them boosted up by the matter as well. Conversion attempt. That's just going to be the normal classic Beasty Waterloo coming in.
Couple of those spears, couple of the crossbows picked on out. And that Night Mass is just so scary.
Oh, Bluetooth hit there through the walls. Crossbows are gonna get taken down. Income right now. B has a lot of income, but he's not fully walled. Doesn't have a direct answer to the siege as there are 2 mangonels out right now. Definitely gonna need something to deal with that. Doesn't have the wood income right now to drop siege. And he's gonna need it soon.
He did end up securing 4 of the relics, so it's 4-1 relics, and his eco lead has climbed to, 17 at this point. He's dropped some farms into play, so if he can hold this, he'll be in a great position. That's the big if. There's Janissaries on the other side, there's siege on the other side, and there are a ton of knights.
Somehow gonna have to take down these mangonels, but that's gonna be a very, very tough dive onto the mangonels now. Fire coming out. Onto the farms. Fort Monastery also going to get taken down here.
Oh, villagers on the berries. Almost getting focused by those mangonels. The monastery does get taken down, so no gold trickle from 2 of those relics. And the mangonel shots on the crossbows! That's over. It's over. Another set of mangonel shots, just crossbows getting obliterated. Relics picked up, though. Attempted wall low. Needs to get focused down, does get focused down. Janissaries on the backside. Knights diving into spears, though. Wololo's for BC as well. The thing is, he might just clear up the units first. And BC...
Oh, he holds! The mangonels might get taken down now. They don't get taken down.
And somehow, B holds. B looks fine.
And now he's getting springlets out. Yeah, he's looking fine. Now he's getting springlets out. And most of... Oh, another good shot there from the mangonels. Most importantly, the relics didn't get stolen.
The relics didn't get stolen, and the Night Mass, it went from 20 to single digits so quickly. Such a high resource cost that you don't want to be diving into these head-on engagements with this if there's spears and crossbows on the other side. Beasty trying to delay that third relic from getting secured back on in, or fourth relic, I guess I should say. Kills it in front of the town center, but loses 2 knights for it, and I'm not sure if that's worth.
More production buildings coming out. Night Raid trying to happen again, but at this point in time, there's not a ton of economy left there on that TC. There's the berries, but that's about it. And yeah, these 3 knights probably gonna get taken down here soon. And B, with the final investment into siege, into anti-siege, might be able to hold here now.
Yep, and those 3 knights do indeed get crushed, at least 2 of them. And there's the third. So really good pickups here. Somehow B was able to hold even after those Mangonel shots. I thought it was over at that point.
Yeah, but now B manages to hold, gets a Springle shot in, takes one of the Mangonels down. That's big value here for him. And the relic's not going to be secured behind all of that, though. Sacred Site is going to be ticking. So Mangonel shot!
Oh, good shot by Beasty.
So dangerous, so dangerous to play around that siege now.
I almost feel like B can give up this eastern side position if he wants the TC. I mean, he's paid off at this point. He's got his 20 vill count lead. He did rewall the center. Mangonels take out the Springles, but there's 2 more that immediately pop out. Now Mangonel gets sniped on out. Once the mangas are gone, B doesn't have to worry about that infantry mass just getting 1 shot.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the main thing that he has to worry about right now. Oh, gets another shot on that one. And now he should be in a position to decap one of the sacred sites.
Janissaries are there to heal up the Mangonels if need be. BC not utilizing that yet. And there is a farm transition. Yeah, there's farm transitions on both sides, just a little bit heavier, I believe, for 3DB.
Now sacred site decap is going to be coming in. This is going to shift the tides when it comes to the golden come over in, at least the passive golden come over in B's favor. Oh, he's not committing to that one though. This might buy Beast some time to get that keep up on the side.
He just quick walls though. He sees the rest of the military. There's a Mangonel though. Oh, and a Mangonel fire into the crossbows.
Oh, B, he's not focusing right now. He needs to. He can't be distracted by the military on the left-hand side. This is actually what Beasty is looking for. Getting that keep up, making sure that sacred site is going to be secure.
He doesn't have the gate built, so he couldn't get his Mangonel in good position to get on top of this ranged mass. Spears are heavily out of position for 3DB as well. The ranged units circling, getting on top of the spears, and he takes a fight and a Mangonel shot for 3DB. He says, have a little bit of return fire here. Next Mangonel shot getting its rocks off and finishes on top of a good archer mass as well.
Some good shots here now for B, but the keep has gone up in the meantime, and Istanbul Observatory now going up, Beasty going to the Imperial Age, with sacred sites walled in or defended by keeps.
Yeah, and B finally takes a military lead, but that's because BC was going to Imp. And once Imp happens, now the MIA can make great bombards. We can see a lot of these Imp Age technologies coming through.
Wall is going to take them down. And now B is going to be in the base from BC. Outpost needs to be taken down. It's going to get fortified in the meantime if he doesn't take it down. Looks like he wants to push it in further right now.
Mangonel circling back around. Good split this time from B. He's finally respecting that Mangonel. Mangonel gets taken down. Sapai trying to circle onto the ranged mass, onto the Mangonel actually, but some spear split on off and some good microing by 3DB. The question is it going to end up being enough as Beasty is just pumping units out, and now this is going to be hard for B to get up to Imperial Age too.
Yeah, he's lacking the resource. At least he got a decap in, so no sacred site victory happening anytime soon, at least not within the next 10 minutes. B has stabilized mostly, but with the Imperial Age now in for Beasty, and he's vacuuming up the resources, the natural resource out on the map, getting the stone there, he's just going to be able to put up more and more of these keeps, and Now getting more of these units out, and a lot of the units are now going to be completely free as he's increased the bonus production speed on these buildings to Alright, tell us when we're back. It looks like we're back.
And we should be back.
There we go. We paused the game for you guys, so there is not going to be any action missed. Here we are, right back where we left off.
We are here.
Nothing
the Spearmen are still sieging down Beasty's front side of his base, but Beasty, he's got the numbers here. He's got plenty of gold to get some of these extra Imperial Age technologies in play too. Looks like B bringing some villagers up to repair those mangonels, wants to keep the pressure on, but is able to drop Imp behind it once he gets the gold. But where's his additional golds? Beasty's already on it.
Yeah, he's just denying the gold right now. That keep there, just absolute denial there on the resources. And B right now, he's got a lot of food, but he needs the gold to go up to next age. And yeah, losing out on that 4K gold, that's going to be big.
Yep, Sapahi trying to get a nice old circular dive onto the siege mass, but B is falling back.
That's behind. He left the mangonels behind.
Oh no. Spears almost in position. Not quite going to be there, and the Sapahi have that extra little bit of range, so they step. Oh, and the mangonels get taken down. This is awful timing for B as he was just about to drop Imperial Age. He stops production for a while, and BC just completely cleans his whole entire army mass. No mangonels means nothing to deal with this range mass that Beasty has, and it is looking bad for B.
Oh no, loses even the crossbowman. Keep is being rushed up on the front side, but the Great Bombard, it's going to be coming out soon. High armory coming out for B.
The villagers stop moving.
44 villagers.
I feel like he might have been typing in the chat. Solid game. You know, good series there. You got the best of me on this one because Beasty, 70 units compared to 15 on the other side.
And Beasty is just diving the keep now. Keep fire, doing some good damage on the units here. It's also idling out all the villagers inside. But he needs it. He's got a good amount of villagers. Now Imperial Age has been reached. Streltsy gonna be in queue.
This is now where Beasty, he's just going to keep up this pressure. He's going to burn the next set of walls. He's going to try to get on top of that farming eco. But instead, I guess he's actually fallen back. He just wants for the Great Bombard to arrive and continue taking these good and beneficial trades. He has bled B dry.
All right, military counter for BC 54, and a lot of passive military coming in, and yeah, it's looking grim now. The archers, all the upgrades have come in. Elite archers with incendiary arrows, and now the Great Bombard here as well. It's gonna be making short work of that keep. Gonna be able to fire all the way across from the wall. And look at that big damage coming out on that keep. It's gonna get taken down really, really quickly with the matter as well, getting that bonus attack speed.
Making sure to take out the wooden fortress as well. Actually, just split and focus a little bit. Wants to attack both places, and it's just spears for B mainly as his army compositions, which we all know spears don't trade well into incendiary arrow archers.
Gremlins are getting called, but I'm not quite sure what exactly they're supposed to be doing here. He definitely needs some men-at-arms here right now. These are only archers and janissaries. I feel like men-at-arms would be a great meat shield for him.
Yeah, he just needs units out onto the field. Men-at-arms would be perfect. Like you said, the archers don't trade the greatest into him. Janissaries definitely don't trade the greatest into him as they have that bonus damage against cavalry, but B just seems to be piling up the food resources.
Maybe he wants to play the siege game here. Roller shot triggers gonna be coming in for him. Gets that bonus range on his Springles. Gets a couple good shots with the Mangonel. Army count actually looking rather even now. But basically behind all of that, look at the economy. Look at the gold bank. He's been just vacuuming up these resources. He's gotten all of his elite upgrades in and still floating 4,000 gold behind it. Just saving it up.
Right as he was about to take down the keep, the last shot he decided to hit some units. So B barely able to keep the keep alive for just a few more seconds. B, nope.
It's gonna get taken down.
Yep.
Still, he manages to clean up the army here for now. Beasty, though, definitely has enough resource to remass once again.
Yeah, all those villagers on the gold look like they're starting to be focused. Great bombard starting to get taken down by those Streltsy. Such high just base damage that they're trying to get the great bombard down, and they should actually end up getting it killed.
It's a good bunch of Streltsy, though, and the great bombard was free, and another one for free is already out. Now we do see the men-at-arms coming out. It's going to be a nice transition now. 4B getting a lot of these men-at-arms out. That's going to be a very good meat shield here against all of these archers. Need some more blacksmith upgrades, though.
On the other side, looks like Beasty, he's actually transitioning back into the knights. Now that men-at-arms are in play, back into the crossbows. So, you know, counter units back and forth, back and forth. B tries to drop a keep on the gold, and the gold's already been gathered by Beasty.
Minus 4,000 gold now on the map that B should have had access to. And now he's going to have to start thinking about just going straight for trade.
And behind this Beasty, he's full walling the whole map and dropping outposts behind the walls. So just getting a ton of vision for himself, getting a ton of control for himself as well. Stone walls even coming into play.
Make sure the map is going to be all secure for him. There's not going to be any raiding opportunities for B now. At least not without any siege. And all the upgrades are coming in here. All the university upgrades as well.
Great bombard making quick work of that wall after the units gave it a little bit of damage first.
Streltsy firing here. Meat shield with the men-at-arms. All these elite men-at-arms, by the way. I'm not sure B had enough. I don't think these are elite. I don't think B had enough resources to get them to elite status. Indeed, these are only normal men-at-arms, so not gonna be at that full armor value that they need here. And the archers just doing a great job of cleaning up these Streltsy now.
Yeah, I mean, this is just where BC, he knows that B can't get the same amount of upgrades that he can. You're seeing every single upgrade come through for BC. You can see it up at the top with blacksmith upgrades. You can see it up at the top with eco upgrades, with
He's getting the scouting upgrade.
This is
He's getting the Imperial Age Scout line of sight upgrade even. That's how much gold he has.
You might as well, and he's just going to be able to A-move into this economy. Great bombards can kill everything out now. There's a Springald that comes into play for B, but the Springald, it just walks into Knights. It walks into Sipahi.
Yeah, the Streltsy doing great damage against the Knights here, but it just feels like it's not enough chemistry, only just now coming in, so the Streltsy didn't do as much damage as they possibly could have. Great Bombard taking down these outposts easily, these wooden fortresses. Elite men-at-arms coming in now, but it feels like it's just a little bit too late at this point in time. B had the economy advantage for a good time in this game, but now Beasty also sitting at over 140 villagers.
Yeah, and B, he just ran out of that 8k gold vein. He's got one last gold vein. I think it was his original one, so probably not too much left on that anyways. So that gold income is about to plummet.
And no access to trade as well behind that. Only has a small gold vein remaining. That's going to take him down soon. Beasty with the Ottomans. Looking very dominant here. It feels like he played this one a little bit differently like he usually did, just judging from the civilization choice that he went for earlier. I wouldn't have thought Beasty to be a kind of player to go for the Ottomans and the Delhi as a pick, while civilizations like the Chinese still open for him. Does go for it anyways, and it's looking really good here right now for him. Great Bombard.
Yeah,
might be able to get taken down by the Springald.
Definitely looking to get this series closed on out. B still just doesn't have the military mass. He needs to hold the onslaught coming in by BC. BC just non-stop production, non-stop queue. I believe he's got another great bombard on its way, maybe even two, and able to kill out anything and everything in its path.
Bombard getting repaired by the Janissaries in the front. It's going to be able to stay alive, and with the Siege Works upgrade as well, means that the Janissaries can't do a lot of damage to it.
They're not taking, it's not taking like any damage. It's basically going to act like a mangonel if these ranged units aren't close or are just a little bit too far away, and it's going to be able to focus in on those. But finally, looks like those Streltsy, looks like those few men-at-arms trying to close the gap a little bit, and B, he has still held this push again, at least for now.
Yeah, he finally got the upgrades in that he needed to on those might arms. That crucial bit of armor that he needed. Still doesn't have the last Pierce armor upgrade though from the blacksmith.
And Beasty has 3 great bombards. He's starting to set up trade himself because he wants that precious, precious gold. He's actually the one who's falling in the gold count too. B does at least have 4
Only
relics.
because he's got 3 great bombards out and 3 more in queue. We're gonna be seeing CGQ manifest.
Oh my gosh. So many resources. He could basically cancel his queue and go up with a wonder if he wanted at this point. Great bombards. They're headed towards the main TC. First, they want to just keep killing production.
Oh, lots of units just went down there. He killed like 6 units with a single shot.
One great bombard did fall, though. There's 3 Springleds on the other side, and the big thing that the Springleds have is range, and he able to snipe out another one of those great bombards. Only one single one left.
More shots coming out on them. Archers taking their shots again. Against the Janissaries, getting some good trades in here.
I mean, once again, B, he holds this push again and again, and it's crazy how he keeps doing this.
The issue is going to be though, if he has what it takes in order to push out, because Beasty behind that, looking at the food bank, 7,000 food in the bank, gets stone walls up on all the sides, has the sacred sites ticking behind all of this, and I mean, the gold from the trade, it's going to start kicking in.
The gold from the trade's going to start kicking in, and now B is at the point where he is only on relic and high trade house gold and hunting cabins.
He needs more siege. Mangonel's coming out for B now, but he needs something like bombards, but bombards cost so much. Instead, it's going to be the Rams, and the Rams, they're definitely going to be an option here. Oh, he tries to get a keep up at the great bombards. They're going to have something to say about that. Oh.
They focus some units first, and the Springleds, they're just, the range is the key. Some people get baited a little too hard with the Great Bombards. They're an awesome unit to mass up, but Springleds, they still are the correct counter unit to those.
They are. The Great Bombard might potentially fall here. Keep has been built. Springleds need to go for another shot. Great Bombard gets taken down. 1 remaining, but all the Springleds have been taken down. Never mind, 1 Spring remaining.
And another great bombard comes into the front line for BC. We talked about it. There were 3 in queue. There's another 3 in queue after the other few got taken on out. B, he still comes out of this ahead in military.
This is so difficult right now to take back. More Rams coming out. Now he gets those Rams out for cheap with that high armory and some unique upgrades on them as well. Still though, very, very difficult to start sieging on with them. Could start thinking about taking down the sacred side here. But pushing in the front side feels difficult.
I feel like you definitely split off 2 of these Rams or one of the Rams and go to that eastern keep on your sacred site. Just makes Beasty split his focus, and there's been multiple times we've seen the military numbers.
Great bombard emplacement. Great bombard emplacement on the keep. You see those huge shots coming out. He just took down 3 Streltsy with 1 shot.
Yeah, now's the point with a great bombard emplacement. You got to go into Trebs.
Beasty, he's getting the supply numbers out. Knights in there as well. Streltsy tried to hold. There is a Mangonel, but the supply, they're just going to be circling around it. Mangonel gets taken down. 1 shot gets denied as well. And the military numbers are falling.
And this is where it's falling. We've been talking about it time and time again. Both sides, though, are having their military numbers fall. The Great Bombards focusing the keep again, and B will not have that keep staying up for too much longer, whereas Beasty, he's had his get reinforced.
And now, keep in the middle from B once again gets taken down. Rams on the side, though, as you mentioned, they're starting to take down that keep. Supply, though, splitting off, might be able to save that keep from going down.
I think they will end up saving that keep. BC, though, he's pushing up in the center a little bit further than need be with those archers, with that Great Bombard. And villagers get pulled to help heal up the keep as well. So counter is still ticking, and he's doubling down on that eastern site since it's the closest one to be. He's dropping more outposts. He's going to get more cannon emplacements in those as well, I'm sure. Oh, it's a full another keep.
Yeah, another keep gets dropped. I mean, B, he's struggling for gold right now. That's the main resource that he needs, that he doesn't have access to. Gets more spearmen, gets more men-at-arms out, but it's just archers going to be from Beasty, and it's enough. There's still not the tier 3 Pierce Armor upgrade in for B. So all of his units, they're going to be taking a lot of damage from these archers.
He's starting to run out of more and more of those other resources. The wood line's getting thinner. The stone mine's getting thinner. Main fight, though, Beasty, he's pushing forward again. Great Bombards needing to set up, but still Springalds are there for B to try to counteract those.
Great Bombards firing onto the Streltsy, doing a great amount of damage. Men-at-arms, though, getting some hits onto the archers now in the front row.
Another 2 great Bombards fall. Men-at-arms onto the third one as well. And yet again, somehow, some way, it seems like B held.
Rams making their way across, trying to get onto that sacred site now with the keep there. And B, he's holding this for now.
4 minutes, 20 seconds left. The additional keep almost finishing as, like, what is that, 5, 6 Rams starting to arrive. Villagers will be pulled. B might just need to reallocate some of his army over to that location to actually be able to take this keep down. Nope.
Just not taking down the Rams.
Not enough villagers here. They need to have some repairing of it, potentially. Sapai circling, Sapai getting pulled, but there's a main fight going in on the middle. 3 great Bombards, though, hitting the big unit masses of B and getting a ton of AoE damage in. This time, though, Beasty rolls those great Bombards away.
Rams managed to clean up one of the keeps. Second keep, though, still remains. More Rams being produced, and I think B, he needs to focus out a little bit on that keep on the right-hand side. Just get it down, stop that Sacred Side timer from ticking, because right now, that's the main thing that's pressuring him.
Yep, 3 minutes, 37 seconds. Another outpost or 2 getting dropped for Beasty. He doesn't have the stone anymore to get upgrades on these, so every stone, every great bombard emplacement is that much harder to actually get. Beasty's gold income is not actually through the roof. The trade's not as crazy as you'd expect.
Now, Rams starting to take down the buildings here. Pahi trying to circle around. Great bombard emplacement. Once again, just doing so much damage here. And Beasty, he's using this time now to push into the middle. This great bombards. Gate gets taken down immediately. And now the units are going to be in.
The units are indeed going to be in. B had to focus so heavily on that Eastern Sacred Site. Still hasn't even been decapped yet. And he's starting to lose out more of his eco, more of his production as well.
At the very least, Keep is going to get taken down. Decap is going to be coming in. Lots of units, though, in his base now. The Knights are going to start killing villagers, and villager count is starting to drop. B might soon be under 100 villagers now in this game.
Yeah, and the key is his Q isn't that healthy either, whereas BC, every unit that falls, anything that falls, villagers, military, whatever it may be, is immediately getting replaced, whereas B, he is not at max pop still.
And some of that pops. B now at almost 90 villagers. 176 pop count versus 200, and BC is glued to that 200 population cap.
Yeah, he will not be falling below that by any means. The key is, what will he do to be able to close this game? He's been bleeding B dry over there, taking out all the resources, taking the front golds, taking all the stone, taking whatever he possibly can, and B, he doesn't have too much left.
Much left indeed. Tries to reboom now. These Knights still going to be annoying, though, in the back of B's base, looking for value here. Every time they see a couple of villagers, they're going to jump on that. And Sapar here as well. The walls have been chopped open now. More villagers going down.
Yeah, when the
Sapar here stuck on the wall.
When the Sapai get to run rampant through the eco, you know it's starting to become a troubling situation. You can't close the gap with spears like we're seeing if those players are paying attention. And this also allows Beasty to move up with his main force, with his main army and siege.
All of these great bombards, 5 more in queue, and once again, BC breaks the front wall. They'll start to look into raiding, and right now. B, he's just control moving with every single military unit that he has, and with that, he's also putting the Rams in, further kind of slowing his army down.
Now, army very, very slow for B. He's got some numbers, but just still hasn't been able to break out of this hold. He's been able to hold time and time and time again, but just not break out of it and get any damage down.
73 villagers and still losing more of them. 71. B, he's bleeding out.
He's been bleeding out ever since the boar from the very start. I felt like it was already a bad foot, and Beasty has just continually just taken the right steps. He might have been able to finish the game earlier, but he's doing the slow macro plays, making sure he doesn't overstep, and wants to finish it in a fun way too, with 5 great bombards and 5 more in queue.
69 villagers. Beasty putting a final nail in the coffin from the looks of it. 6 great bombards out now. And the military push just keeps happening. B solely relying on the passive gold from his high trade house, from his hunting cabins. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Spearman pushing forward, trying to get some hits on the great bombards, able to take 2 of them down. Beasty behind that. He's got enough resources to just immediately remess the army.
I feel like this is the point where Beasty needs to delete 30 food villagers and just go in with 30 more military units, you know?
Supply rates coming in the side.
Yep, circling around yet again, just wants to make sure that B gets on the back foot, make sure he doesn't allow B to actually get towards his eco.
But the Spearman mass actually falls now to this bar here, and the Knight mix as well. And Wall falls just like that. And B, he's getting his economy rated once again. TC getting taken down now. That is further gonna make it harder for him to reboot into this game.
Great bombards getting taken out again by those Springolds, but it's just not gonna be enough. It doesn't matter how many resources Beasty spends on those great bombards, they get thrown away because he has so many more resources already in the bank, waiting, ready.
And with that, game is gonna get called. Beasty, in a clean fashion, takes the set 3-0 against B.
Yeah, very, very clean series here. And I mean, this last game, it got extended on out, but it felt like Beasty was in control for the whole entire, well, this game and a lot of the series as well.